Welcome to the CBS Eye on Money show. It is Thursday, December 22nd, and I'm Jill Schlesinger. I'm joined by my partner in crime, Mark Talercio. Good day, Mr. Mark. How are you?
Bonjour.
We're just talking about all the best shows of 2022 that are being released. And what's your best show of 2022?
Like we were just discussing, I enjoyed Bad Sisters. I don't think that was my favorite show of the year, though. Probably Ted Lasso.
Oh, my God. Did he actually have a new series in 22? Did we actually get 22 or is that a 21? I don't remember.
Or were we just late and we watched it in 2022?
You may have. Well, we loved Bad Sisters on Apple TV. That's on here. I see that the international is, they also got My Borgen, the Danish political drama. I love that. I was very into that for a while. I disagree about Gentleman Jack. Second season stunk. You know what? I love Abbott Elementary. I love that show so much. It's so good. The other one they have on this list is we're talking about the New York Times list. They have Reservation Dogs, which I watched about half of it so far. It's very good. I actually think it's very good. So you should maybe check that out. All right. I think that's it for me. I'm scared to even go to the movie list because I have not watched so much.
I think we've watched one movie this year, and we just watched Where the Crawdads Sing, and that was it.
I don't want to do that after you said Amanda just actually cried through the whole thing. So I don't know if I want that.
She read the book first and loved the book, so she wanted to see the movie. It was good. I liked it.
All right. Well, that's it. That's our pop culture roundup for right this second. Today, we are answering your financial questions like we do every time we broadcast. And if you'd like to ask your question, go to our website, jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and you check the little box at the end of the form after you ask your question. It says, would you be willing to come on the program? If you say yes, Mark does everything else. Today, we are talking to Scott, who's on the line from Chicago. Hello, Scott. What brings you to us today?
Just been a longtime listener of your YouTube videos and decided to give it a shot, see if you could help me out with a couple questions and get kind of a retirement checkup.
Super. I love the YouTubers. Okay, what's going on? Tell us what we need to think about for you.
Okay, so I'm 34. My wife is 31. We live in Chicago. We are both employed and then also have a secondary serving job as well. I make right now this year, it looks to be going to be about $200,000, 100% commission. My wife's salary is right at 90, and then we both make about $25,000 a year waiting tables.
Wait a minute, you make 25 grand each waiting tables?
Yes.
Or total? Okay.
Each.
Wow. Just for the hell of it? Like do you come from food service? Like what's the deal?
Yeah, we used to when we were younger, and we recently moved to Chicago from another state. And just don't really know a whole lot of people. When COVID hit, we were cooped up in our house, not seeing anyone face to face, and it was just kind of a good way to get out, get a couple meals, talk to some people. So yeah, and we like it, and the extra income doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, I bet not. Now, I know that you don't actually watch TV because you just said that, but I have a show for you that you should watch. Are you ready?
Yes.
It's called The Bear, and it was on FX. And it is about a guy in Chicago who's like a very fancy chef who moves back to Chicago to run his family's like Italian sandwich shop. And so I think if you're in the food service industry, you're going to love it. All right. That's my number one recommendation for you. Okay. Let's move on, Scott. So what else is going on? Do you guys put money into retirement accounts right now?
Yes, we both max out 401ks and IRAs, or at least we have this year. My wife just recently in September got a new job, so hers is now a Roth. My full contribution this year was a Roth 401k. And then we try to put money in a brokerage account as well.
Give us a sense of how much money you've saved. So in your 401ks, how much do you have saved so far?
So I have right at about 100,000, with 20,500 of being Roth contribution. My wife, in her new one, it's about 14,000, 15,000 in the Roth. And then she just recently rolled over her old company's 401k to a traditional IRA. That's right about 65,000.
And how much in the brokerage account?
Right now about 30,000. And then we also, I guess, combined, about 65,000 because my wife has one as well.
Okay. So do you guys live in a home or do you rent?
We rent.
Do you think you might want to buy a home or what's your view on that?
I'm a little apprehensive about buying a home or a condo in the city just because I feel like we could get set or comfortable with what we feel like we could afford. And then a couple years down the road, we could need a new furnace, new windows, up property taxes, and we have to come up with an extra $1,500 or $2,000 a month. So that's kind of shying me away from it right now.
What about money in like a safe, let's call it a savings account, a money market? What do you have there?
In personal bank accounts, probably about 50,000, and then we also have an LLC bank account that has about 50,000 in it as well.
Wow, you guys are cranking. You're doing amazingly well. How much money do you spend? It doesn't sound like you spend a lot of money.
No, I would say that our expenses are right around about $10,000 a month. Part of that is about a little over a year ago. Since we are renting and not building equity, we decided to get a vacation home. So we have a home in South Carolina, and so the mortgage and HOA stuff on that.
Okay, tell us how much is the vacation home worth?
Probably about 650, 700,000, and there's about 515 remaining on the mortgage.
And what's the interest rate on the mortgage?
3 1/8.
And do you guys rent it out or is it just for you guys?
We do rent it out. We have a property management company. This first year, there was a lot of things we had to do to it, just getting it set up and ready. But based off of the rental income and then their cut, hopefully moving forward, it should cover the majority, if not all, of the mortgage payments.
Oh my God, that's. Do you get to enjoy it at all though?
Yeah, we've been down there a couple times.
Are you guys managing your own money?
Yes.
Okay, and you're using like low cost index funds? Are you buying individual stocks? What do you got?
The majority of it is index funds, index tracking ETFs. Occasionally a little bit playing around in individual stocks, but not a whole lot.
I have to tell you something. I don't know what your goals are, but you're in great shape. So let's talk about those goals. What is it that you think you want to try to accomplish that we can help you out with? Because you're killing it. So what can we do for you?
I mean, preferably I would like to not necessarily retire, but maybe switch up what I do or how frequently I do it. Right now, the goal is for me 50, so 15 years. And that's mainly just because of I don't like being dependent on a whole lot of stuff. And since my job's commission based, and then obviously the serving jobs are just tips, good portion of our income is dependent on that. I mean, I have a economy or economics background, and so I look at things, I feel like, a little differently. For example, going on vacation, it's not only what the vacation is going to cost me, the airline, the hotel, etc., but also what I'm not going to be able to make. And then I justify if that total cost is worth the experience that I'm going to get out of it.
Wow, you're like that's pretty thoughtful. I'm just like, I want to go away and I hate everybody right now. So that's a nice way of thinking about it. When you think about age 50, will the expenses still be 10 grand a month, you think, or not?
I really don't know. I mean, right now we're kind of on the lower end of the rent side. We would like to potentially bump that up a little bit. I think that if the opportunity does present itself, we would also like to maybe add another vacation home or two over that time period. And essentially, by the time we do retire, just kind of have a couple different places we can jump around to every quarter or so.
It doesn't sound like you're saying you want to just call it quits. You're just saying, I don't want to work this hard, right?
Yeah, I really don't know, I guess, what that would bring. We've talked about possibilities, some different business ideas. Obviously, being in the restaurant industry, we have our own thoughts on feelings on what would be popular, how things should be run. And so then maybe that's a possibility is trying to open or start a restaurant one day.
I guess there's a part of this that's like, did you say you were going to have kids or not?
No, not planning on it.
Okay. That makes it a lot easier. You're going to be able to do this. I don't know what it is. Okay. I really don't know what the next years will be, but you're so disciplined. You're so on top of this. you will be able to do whatever you set out to do because you're very thoughtful. I think that if things were to change, we'd encourage you to, get back in touch with us. But given where you are now, I wouldn't be in the hugest rush to go buy more property. I'd love to just see you guys crank and keep putting money into your retirement accounts and make these Roth accounts and grow these brokerage accounts. And that's it. Unless something fell in your lap and there's another cycle where there's low interest rates and you're like, great, we got it. But my goal for you would be, let's just keep putting this money away, save this money. And, at some point you might be like, okay, we have friends now. We don't need to wait tables. So, that could be something that falls off first. And then from there, I think you guys are it's so strong that the opportunities will be there for you because you are very diligent. It's hard for me to even imagine that there's some bump in the road that would be a snafu. I guess if you're like, oh, well, I'm just exhausted. I can't make this much money. Then we could shift. You could say, well, then it would be 55, something like that. But where you are right now, I can't see that you will have many problems and you're so focused and, God bless you. You're doing a great job. So, do you have your estate documents? I know that you're married, but there's no kids, but sometimes that will fall off as the to-do list. Do you have those?
Yeah, we have a will in place. We don't have any crazy amount of life insurance, but enough to cover funeral expenses and get the surviving spouse off on a good foot.
I think you guys are great. I really do. So stay in touch with us. There's nothing, is there anything else that you need to know from us? Because I feel like you're in great shape. And I think you will be able to do this at 50 and you'll have lots of opportunities. The only thing I would just caution about is don't be in such a huge rush to buy more real estate. I think that's the only caveat I have in the whole game plan.
Okay. Yeah, I guess my really only other question is my wife's traditional IRA that we rolled over and then her Roth IRA contribution this year has not been invested in anything yet. And I guess just with a larger chunk like that, I know it's not money that we're planning on utilizing anytime soon. But at the same time, ideally, I don't want to look at it 6 months from now and see it down 20%. So I just don't know how the best way, should I portion that up into $10,000 every 2 weeks and just buy in, like I said, the index tracking ETFs every so often? Should I look at trailing a buy stop down above the market?
Best thing to do is just pull the trigger and do it all at once. But if you're not comfortable with that, then you can do a little bit at a time, maybe a certain amount each week or each month, but just get it to work. Don't try and pick a day.
Okay.
You've got such a great long time horizon that nothing you do is going to be like a bad decision. You might get a little unlucky on the timing in the moment, but it won't matter. It will absolutely not matter to you in the long run. Okay. So I think that's it for Scott. So if you are like Scott and you're killing it, give us a call. We'll tell you you're killing it. And if you're not, it's okay. We can help you out. And we are happy to do so. So give us a holler. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the contact us button. You heard Scott say that he actually listens to us via YouTube. You can do that too. Mark, how do they do that on YouTube? They just, is it Jill on Money or is it, right? Isn't it just Jill on Money?
Jill on Money. We have a solid audience on YouTube. Oh,
are you collecting my $200 checks every month, Mark?
Every once in a while, I don't know if it's done like quarterly, but every once in a while, like $100 or $120 roll in.
I told Mark to keep it. I'm such a kind person, aren't I?
At what point do you want me to alert you?
Like when it's like thousands. I don't care. Anything less than 1,000, you can just keep. That's what I would say.
All right. We have some time.
Oh, damn it. I wanted there to be more. All right. So check out our YouTube channel. Check out everything on our website. Just go to JillOnMoney.com. You can sign up for the free weekly newsletter and you can pre-order the new book. It's called The Great Money Reset. When you pre-order, not only do you get a nice copy with a book plate, but you also are entitled to join us for our webinar, our first ever webinar, which will be held on February 8th. So do pre-order The Great Money Reset. All right, Mark Talercio is the co-host and executive producer of this program. We are distributed by Paramount Global. We drop our episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. Try to lift someone up today. Curiosity, compassion, community. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you next week.